Which hero or villain would have the sickest mixtape? I'm going to say the Riddler.
Sickest?
You said which villain, right?
Hero or villain. I'm going to say the Riddler. I think with the right producer.
Get Kanye on the phone. You know Kanye in the Riddler text. You know it. You know it.
Said the greatest of all time.
I think, surprisingly, I'm going to say Hero Killer Stain because he's very, very serious about what he does. So I know he's already written a manifesto. He's just going to like get it produced, you know?
Do you think he would ghostwrite though?
Nah. People have to know it. Right. No, actually, I guess that's his whole thing is like heroes are heroes for the sake of being heroes and not for any specific game. So yeah, I guess maybe.
Oh, y'all slacking.
Because I don't think Riddler would.
What you gonna say, the Penguin?
No, bro. Green Goblin. Them waves on swim means he has bars for days. Do not ever think that Green Goblin ain't rapping bars in his head while beating the mess out of Spider-Man. Do not ever think that he did not come up with a whole rap while kidnapping Aunt May.
I'd watch that. Green Goblin versus the Riddler. I still got my money on the Riddler.
You sure?
Yeah, he's a genius, bro. He already rhymes. For no reason.
The Riddler is unbelievably clever.
I get it. But I'm saying Osborn was already broken in his brain before getting the serum.
You know what it's going to be? You know what it's going to be? The Riddler is going to have like the lines, but not the flow. And the Green Goblin's going to come with that flow. It's simple.
No. It's as soon as he takes off the do-rag, when he take off the cap, I'm telling you, Green Goblin going to go in. He's been thinking about this for the longest.
He's just been waiting.
He's like, Spider-Man never gave me the opportunity to drop this hot fire. I have time now.
I think it actually is going to be somebody like, who is it? Like Brother Blood or somebody who keeps reincarnating. So, or no, dude. Wait,
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange might have bars too.
Doctor Strange would.
This man reads books all day.
That's what he does.
The vocabulary, the punchlines, they not even going. The punchlines just alone will cast spells. He's going to make sure that everything lines up to have the best rap performance of all time. That while you're listening to it, you can play it backwards, and it's still going to be lit. All
right, but we got to talk about either Zatanna or Etrigan. Because Etrigan literally rhymes anyway. Like that's like his thing. That's his thing.
Etrigan then by default.
Yeah.
The bull already raps.
He does.
He spits hot fire all times. He can't not. He's sitting there like, I'll be back.
I think Riddler's in the top 5.
Riddler's
sure.
Sure. I feel like
what you guys are saying makes sense. So
yeah. Because I feel like Batman just would be like, I don't want to rap.
Batman wouldn't be a good rapper.
No.
Superman would try so hard. He would try so hard.
Superman would be like, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Who's that up in the sky? Uh-huh. It's me. Looking fly. Ha-ha. Woohoo. Ha-ha. Yeah. Woohoo.
Just kidding.
And he's like, I got to keep it clean for the kids. Because Superman's for the kids. You're like, no, Wu-Tang said that already, Superman. You can't say that.
Superman would definitely try to rap on like an after-school special.
Yes.
Yo.
Drugs. Don't do drugs. What Superman say? Don't do drugs. Keep it clean, my kids.
And like Batman would be like the hype man who like don't say nothing but just always looks menacingly into like the camera. Like he like throws out his Gatling gun.
Yeah. What'd he just say? If you do drugs, I'll find you. And then I'll beat you up.
Well, Bruce.
And there's our intro. Bring it back.
Friends and family, welcome back to Booze, News, and Reviews. I'm your host, Ace Trainer Arjun, here with my two pals, who are going to introduce themselves shortly.
I want to quit. I want to quit so bad. Keep it going.
No, because now every time. No, go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, Dan. I say I want to start over all the time, Dan. You pay me no mind. Go ahead. Talk to people.
It's Big Dan.
Big Dan.
Rodan. Coming at you live from the 215, your comical connoisseur, your sommelier of sci-fi and superheroes, here to welcome you to another episode of BNR. That's right. I ripped my favorite pair of jeans this past weekend.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'll be okay. It was my favorite.
Yeah. I wish we had a sad Rodan.
We gotta stop. We're actually recording.
We are recording. It's fine. But yeah, I am never by myself. They were my favorite pair of jeans. I'm sorry. Like, you ever have a pair of jeans that just grow with you?
Yes.
Okay. That's what this relationship was.
You sounded like you were forced to agree.
You kind of did.
Come on.
I'm never by myself. Go ahead and pass it over to my man Jay Hawk.
Oh, what's up, guys? 'Tis I.
We haven't even drank yet.
Hailing from the land of Sake, Shinobi, and Samurai, the boy is Godzilla personified. There is no other name but this to go by. It's your boy Jay Hawk. And
Yeah, man.
well, we got booze, news, and reviews. And
We do.
Oh, am I not allowed to talk anymore?
I mean, you just were waiting so long.
Do you want to say yours?
What? No, I said mine already. It's easy.
Talk.
Easy. So, friends, BNR stands for booze,
Booze,
news,
news.
and reviews.
Yes.
So, our drunken master will let us know what we have this evening.
Whoop, whoop. All right.
Lord,
Woo. Yeah. This episode's booze comes from a micro distillery located out in Bethlehem, PA. Born in the ruins of the former Bethlehem Steel Empire, Social Still looks to honor the past while creating a vibrant new future, using Pennsylvania grains and corn to honor the rich agricultural history. They found a few small family farms that still produce amazing products. Heirloom seeds and natural practices are at the core of what they do. They source local corn, local wheat, local rye, barley, and other grains still being produced by the small family farmer. Stone milled, mashed, and fermented right inside their distillery in Bethlehem. Then they use a pot still to slowly distill their premium spirits. They make a product of Pennsylvania, grown here, produced here, blended here, and barreled here. We will be enjoying their Sasquatch Vanilla Maple Bourbon. Here's the profile. They take their premium bourbon and infuse Pennsylvania maple, syrup, and vanilla beans to produce this one-of-a-kind spirit. Tasting notes are sweet, woody, and smooth, and it is at 40% alcohol. Sasquatch
by Social Still. Yeah. I gotta say, if y'all don't mind me going first, silence is basically agreement.
Yes.
So,
I mean, go.
This is, I don't know about y'all. Maybe I'm like weak, but this is shocking on first taste. It's just so much, and I'm like, and then it like mellows out because I'm like, what's going on? Almond, vanilla, and then it like mellows out. And I'm like, oh, this is really nice. It's very good to sip it. Good to sip.
Oh, this is. What was it? The slow and low we had a few weeks ago. This is another one where I probably would feel like I don't do nothing else for the day. This is put your feet up.
Yeah.
This is very, I would say, less seasonal.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Than
the maple,
what was the other one we had? The
number
maple
number one,
Number something.
I think it's number 5, right?
That's what I for some odd reason 5 is stuck.
5 is the number that stuck in my head.
We'll link it.
Yep. But
it's not that.
The maple bourbon butter pecan thing.
Yeah.
That was very seasonal.
Saints number 5. Is that
Saints
why?
number 5. Thank you.
Jeez, that boy, good.
Call back.
Good.
This is more bourbon and like just bourbon in profile, like that. I feel like that's what I get from it.
Saints number 5 was something that's like, this is like fun. This is like a drink, but like fun drink. This is like, this is like, it's called Sasquatch. Like this is out in the woods.
This is reminding me of like all of the bad calls I've gotten today. Like it's not reminding me of that, but it's like wearing away.
That's good. That's the opposite of what I thought.
Yeah,
you
no.
That's good. I was worried. I was about to
bring up. It's like, put it down, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
you are safe here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just like it hurts so much.
But no, yeah, this is I totally agree that it does have that kick in the door when you read maple bourbon, vanilla maple bourbon, bourbon and we've had 5 Saints,
Right.
it's like you think you know what to expect because of the name.
Like you're getting a grandma hug, like you're familiar with it.
Right.
But
You
it's
thought
not,
it was like, I'm not your grandma.
Right.
Right. I'm not your...
Was it a scroll or was it just like...
No, it's one of them people like, why are you walking up to me, punch you in the gut? Like, reminder. Just like, this ain't the same.
Yeah, this is not as sweet. The maple is nowhere near as pronounced. The maple is really on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the flavor, the woodiness comes through in front. But then
the smoothness as well. It's smooth.
It is smooth. It's like, it's strange to say. It's like and then it like rides down for me personally. It's kind of like Steel Force at Darney Park, Wildwater Kingdom, 2 great parks for the price of 1. So how we feeling about the old social still? What are we thinking?
Sasquatch. Oh, I give it 3.5.
Really?
I'm
going to give it a 2 because I know I wouldn't buy this. This is good, but this is not my idea of a good time.
Okay.
Unlike Steel Force at Wildwood. 2 great parks, price of 1.
Why?
Just keep rolling. Keep going. We're barreling through.
Yeah, we're barreling through. I was gonna say a 3.5, maybe closer to a 4. I like this as a bourbon. This is.
I can see that.
You feel it.
You do.
Feel it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think for this season, right? This is something that I can definitely relate to as far as just like, okay, warm, not cuddly, but it's got fur on it.
Yeah,
it's a Sasquatch.
It's literally like yeah.
It's not a teddy bear. It's Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
But I like this enough that I would definitely get it again for myself, and I would probably keep it around and keep it in stock if I could.
You know what it is though? I think 5 Saints would be something that you would like. You can like literally like blow through like just a good weekend.
You can almost like mix it with almost.
Sure.
Like,
I mean, you could mix this too, but like if we're gonna drink it straight,
you gotta respect this.
If we're gonna drink it straight, I think the 5 Saints you could like go through in a weekend. This, like, if it's that just you,
that bottle goes into a decanter.
Right.
It lives for a little bit. You let it breathe. Put it back on. You don't even drink it. You just how you doing? Then put it back.
Just checking in.
Right.
Just checking in. Like I think you're perfectly right with like if you've had like a day, you just get an ice cube, and then like just chill out.
Put on your stories.
If you got the orange rind, the little orange peel, go ahead and you just let it aerate in there.
Little bitters.
Not bitters. I wouldn't put bitters in this one. Only because the maple.
True.
I feel like you would lose that completely with bitters.
That's fair.
But this look at us. We're growing in our our drinking habits.
Thanks to y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Couldn't done it without y'all.
We could have done it without y'all. It wouldn't have come out the same way.
Not healthily. But anyway, let's move on to some news. Big Dan, what you got for us, my friend? And welcome to Shot Seat. This is where one member of the Blerd Bar,
Joshua,
asks another member of the Blerd Bar.
Oh, that's me.
A bunch of different questions. You get the question right. You can take a shot. You get it wrong. You gotta take a shot. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready as well. No. It's Jayhawk. He's on the shot seat. So, given the theme, right?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some Cowboy Bebop trivia.
Oh,
it's going to be all bad.
Heavens.
Okay.
All bad.
Coming out with our first question.
Okay.
This member of the Bebop has one artificial eye. Is it Jet Black, Spike Spiegel, Vicious, Faye Valentine?
It's going to be Spike Spiegel.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
It's good. It's good. What can I say? If you think that Josh can make it all 3 questions, go to the comments, type "We believe in Jayhawk." Don't skip ahead. But we now return to our regularly scheduled program.
Come to me. Why did you go to me first? You didn't even ask me if
all right.
I had news.
I'm sorry.
I do have news, but come to me in a second.
Okay, Big Dan got my news is very short and very straight to the point. December 14th, Minecraft Dungeons has a new update. It's free. It's going to be cool and autumnal. It's cloudy. Minecraft Dungeons. People are still playing it.
It wasn't bad. I don't think it was for me.
It was not the target audience.
I was not the target audience.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool thing. I'm gonna check it out.
Check it out.
What do you got for us, J-Hawk?
Well, what I have, what I got, you can get it from my mom.
Hey.
What I got, you
I kicked it over to you, so
I know.
All right, I just want to make sure you know, because I was just kicking it over and I made a mistake, and I'm trying to learn and do better.
So, new anime to look out for next year. Spy X Family. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if it's just Spy Family or like Hunter Hunter, or, you know what I mean? So it's Spy, there's an X, and it's family.
Spy Cross Family, actually.
Right. And just to like, there's a big long summary that they have out. But just to paraphrase, in the hopes of keeping world peace, a spy, assassin, and mind reader pretend to be a family. So I did see the trailer for it. It looks interesting. It could be pretty good.
I think the spy thinks he's getting a regular family and doesn't know that the assassin is an assassin.
I was gonna let them. I know that.
I didn't
let them.
Okay.
I said I paraphrased.
I think it's different if all three don't know. But then, like, I think it's different when the spy thinks the one thing, and the assassin thinks one thing, and the child just so happens to be a telepath, so they know everything that's going on.
Sure.
And
so that's that. Spy X Family comes out next year. Only other bit of news. $400 will get you a life-size Lucario stuffed animal.
We're gonna go on ahead and move right on from that, pal.
No.
Yes.
That's right. If you've ever wanted
Stop.
to bring a giant Pokemon and a severely threatening aura into your home, there's a new life-size Lucario plush that fits the bill.
All right, we're going back to Wide Shot now.
No. What's that for you? Yeah.
This is a family show, kind of. That's what it is.
What? It's a big stuffed animal.
The furries, Josh. I didn't want to say it. Okay, it's out there now. I hope everyone's okay. I hope you guys are okay. The furries. All right. Dan, this could have been prevented if you had news.
That doesn't.
I still have news.
Kicking it over, Big Dan.
So, few things. The Marvel's.
Let them be furries at their
No, can this man talk?
Spider-Man's No Way Home trailer released a week ago.
Ew.
You have feelings about that?
No, please continue.
You said ew.
I'm not gonna interrupt you, buddy.
Okay.
Interrupted the fuck out of me. It's wild, bro. That's how you felt?
Can I go? Can I go? Because I don't even know if I want to be here anymore. Anyway, there are reports that No Way Home, rumors possibly, will have more than just the 3 Spider-Men and possibly more Spider-Men.
I hope Nick Cage is there.
Who knows? But, you know, I think we should now just look forward to the movie and stop trying to guess that. And
I did that a long time ago.
But I feel like everyone should be more Josh in this situation, because what I'm starting to realize is that y'all are ruining it for yourselves. And I'm not ruining it for me. I'm not going to let that happen. I refuse. I'm just like, I'm really excited to see this movie, and I feel like a lot of people are just too many theories. And honestly, once you throw multiverse in there, there's no consequences. So stop.
I feel like we have an episode on that.
I feel like we have. Secondly, Matrix Resurrections is not a sequel, says the co-writer. It is technically a beautiful and weird creation. Quote. I'm not going into that. I refuse to unpack whatever that means.
That's billable hours, chum.
Also, there's something in the rumor mill, because with Marvel and Disney, there's always something in the rumor mill. Miles Morales has a live-action Spider-Man movie in active development.
I don't think I need that.
I don't think... See, it's not a matter of necessity anymore, right? I think superhero movies are no longer a necessity. We've seen most of our favorite superheroes brought to life.
What? No, I didn't see Blue Beetle yet.
That's coming out on HBO Max.
Okay.
You'll get it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's live action or not. Don't quote me. Okay. It might be though. But I feel like after a while, superhero movies are you're getting your fill. So I'm excited if it's happening. However, if it doesn't happen, we still have Into the Spider-Verse.
It ain't go nowhere.
And I still watch that almost regularly. Like, it's one of the best soundtracks in my mind for a superhero movie. And I listen to it pretty frequently.
It's pretty good.
But that's all of my news. Because any other news will probably be disgusted. Whoa. Woo. I'm operating on 3 hours of sleep. So that's not...
Can we go to Wyatt?
Yeah.
So you can have more room for you to sleep?
Yeah. Appreciate you. I'm operating on 3 hours of sleep. So my words are probably more influenced by lack of sleep than alcohol.
I believe you. And I'm worried about you.
Nope. Don't be. We don't have time to unpack that.
What are we reviewing, fellas?
Well,
and welcome back to Shot Seat. Question number 2. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. This is a tough one, but I'm going to have to ask anyway.
I'm scared.
Where did the Bebop's captain, Jet Black, originate from?
No multiple choice?
There's no multiple choice.
That's rude.
I wish. You know what? I'll throw some in here for you, multiple choice, because it doesn't have it here, but I will. Mars, Earth, New Tijuana, or Ganymede?
And we're asking, where did
Jet Black originate from?
Jet Black originate from? I'm tied between Mars and Ganymede. I am going to lean in on Ganymede, though.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Right.
Someone stop this kid. Someone stop him. He's 2 for 3. Now, if you think Josh can do it and bring it home, 3 for 3. It's only happened once on the Blerd bar. Let us know. For now, back to...
You're not wrong. It's just like, a flex, but whatever.
Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Dealer's choice. I feel like I have more to say about King Richard.
I feel like I have more to say about Bebop.
I have more to say about Bebop.
We can talk about Bebop first then.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. I like this because we got like the nerd side and we got the black side, and it's gonna.
Okay.
So we talking about Bebop first?
Oh, can I go first?
Sure. Yes.
Pick
I
me,
love
pick
your
me.
love your enthusiasm.
Right.
Is that from Like a Sleep, or are you just really enthusiastic? Don't answer. Just go. Just go.
So, really quick, Cowboy Bebop live adaptation on Netflix. Huh?
Oh, sorry. It's Bebop. There are swords.
There were swords, but okay. I thought you were accusing me of
That's what. Yeah, that was
that
a
sound
weird
is
choice.
associated with us failing to get words out. I did very well elucidating and pronunciating what I just said, but whatever. Gonna move on. We are in rare form tonight, people.
Just like every week.
Why not? So, yeah. I don't think I had a strong connection to the anime, the original. I watched it. I understand the glory that it holds. At the same time, my mind's a little foggy on the details of when I last watched it, which was years ago, and this seems like a cash grab, but I don't know for who. When I don't understand how streaming works in regards to like who gets paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think there were some choices that were made that were not entirely agreeable with the demographic that they were attempting to draw on this. Because I don't know if the target audience was anime watchers, I don't think you did a good job. I'll say that. If the target was to get people who did not watch the anime but kind of want to get into anime, you did an okay job. If it is someone who's completely oblivious to anime and just wants to watch a Netflix show, you did your job. That's how I look at it. Because there was aesthetics that referenced Cowboy Bebop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they said Bebop way too many times.
What's the name of the ship?
I understand, but like after a while, like they were even just like, that's Bebop. And I'm like,
that's Bebop, baby. It's about the references you don't amalgamate.
So some of the acting was shticky, and I think was intentional, to kind of deliver that it was an anime adaptation. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 3. A 3 of. I'm sorry. A 3 of.
I was prepared.
Can I make I can't say my thing is empty because it's just a mug, right? But like they're empty. It'd be 3 empty mugs.
The lightest of 3s.
Right. The lightest of all 3s
barely.
I've ever given. Filled to the brim with no one asked for this. But you got it.
Oh, so you got it.
That's how I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't feel like spoilers really apply to this because
no, there's definitely spoilers. Definitely spoilers.
Yeah. I feel like we have to get into it.
We can unpack. We'll unpack it when we get to you. But like for me right now, I just feel like I wanted to be very short and concise to that because I feel like I have more to say about King Richard.
I'm excited for what you have to say. You want to go?
You can go. Yeah. I kind of feel like I actually just want to just have a discussion about it.
Oh, just y'all two? I'll be back.
No, please. We need you.
Don't mind me over here.
All right, I am going to. I guess. Hello, everyone.
The shaky breath was not engaging at all.
So, if anyone has been following the Blerd Bar on social media,
which means you're following Sterling.
No, it's all of us. We all contribute. You'd see that on many things related to the live action Cowboy Bebop, there would be just a sentiment or a statement that says, "This doesn't need to exist." And having watched it, I don't feel that I'm wrong. I don't think this needs to exist, but it does exist, and I'm not upset about it. So, I'm going to go about things I enjoyed, one about things I didn't enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to what everyone has to say. And things I enjoyed. 1, aesthetically beautiful. It was some really cool shots. I think bringing the cooler, the further we get along in the future, the more technology advances, the cooler it looks to bring these stories to life. There were a lot of aesthetic choices because I really like that Cowboy Bebop, the anime, was like there was a lot of difference in settings because sometimes you're in a city and sometimes you're in a ghost town and sometimes you're in like some industrial, but in the live action we got a lot of like houses, like when Jet was going to his daughter's birthday, it was just like
a legit
normal
town,
house,
suburbia,
whole town.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. I think and I'm definitely going to get into this I think this is a different medium than the anime. And thanks to these guys and you guys, I look at adaptations completely different now. And I think they made changes that fit this medium better. Like the buddy banter back and forth between Jet and Spike, which was very present in the anime. But I think this came across more with like specific body language and tone. And like, I think it was very, very well done. So you get to see like these people are connected, and
Right.
you see that, and then that drives the tension of like, oh, everybody's got backgrounds, you know. Things I also like. Mustafa is the best part of this series. I don't care what anybody says. Dude, his Jet voice was perfect. He was perfect. That was a perfect casting. He did it. Josh gave me a look, y'all. Y'all gonna see it.
The only thing I would say was a miscast was the facial hair on his face.
He needed the facial hair.
I understand for the character, but the way it was executed, no. Oh, baby.
Need the facial hair. It seems like you have opinions. You want to jump in or you want to let me finish?
Go ahead. If you're not done,
He was amazing. He was the best part of the show.
Can that be your first? Can that be your opening point? Because I really want to make sure that you get back to that.
Okay.
I think he was amazing. Best part of the show.
I'm so excited.
Choreography. The choreography was cool. There were a lot of like really cool scenes. Vicious versus everybody was way cooler than I thought it was going to be. And then I felt, pardon me one moment, I'm sorry. I felt that the fight against Pierre, that was something I was like really, really excited for with all of the technology. And I felt that fell very flat. Y'all can't say it either. So there are lots of cool sequences. As far as the choices that they made to make the story more connected and cohesive and like everything tying into itself, like in the anime, when Pierre was being all experimented on, it was actually cats. But then in the live action, they made it dogs to make it make sense that Ein was there. It was cool. Small changes. I liked all the references. The big question, the big turn that like set us up for season 2. I don't think we needed that. I don't think we needed a season 2. It seems like we're going to get one. So yeah, things I did.
I think it's in development, but however, based on this reception, I would say give it a month.
Mm-hmm. And then we want to see it. We want to
see what happens.
Because y'all saw what happened to Why the Last Man. They wasn't even done.
Sheesh. I'll wait until Josh gives his, because there was one line in there that the internet has gone crazy about, and I also was kind of like, but we'll talk about it.
I have no idea what you could be referring to.
Oh,
I think I have an idea.
Piggybacking off of that, some of the writing was just like, guys, man, come on. It was
you don't
great.
Find that suspicious?
It was great to see the choice that they made with Grin, to have them just be a non-binary person, because anime and lots of shows, well, specifically anime and like specific Japanese stuff, usually when tackling people of having something being other than cisgendered, it's always like a shower scene and they drop their towel and everybody's like, oh, and that's like, it's really tire riding. It's not good. So they made a much better choice with the live action, and I appreciate that. I also really like the diversity of nationalities from everybody, like everybody, because I think that was something that Bebop was really, really good about. But they kind of like toned down any of the stereotypes, any of the stereotypical stuff. Some, a lot in comparison. So those are things that are like I think some of the writing was whack. I was really disappointed by the Pierre fight. The ending was like, it was an interesting choice for sure. Choices were made. Ultimately,
that's how you gotta look at it.
Ultimately, if like, I think I like your system. If you don't know anything about the series, but you're like, oh yeah, that's that thing that everybody likes, and you watch this, you'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'll watch the anime, right? If you're a person who watched the anime, seeing some of the references, be like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool choice. Now, if you love this anime,
don't watch this. Don't do this, Caesar.
You can watch this.
Don't.
But make
don't
sure
listen to him.
You take your blood pressure medication beforehand.
Why?
That's all I say.
Just don't do it. We're telling you, we watched it for you. Don't do it.
2.5. Don't really care that this exists. Definitely not going to watch it again. I am going to watch season 2.
Okay.
Also, I think some of the stuff they did was a little bit performative with Faye and like being queer. Like, it was fine when it happens, but it's the fact that they addressed it. Like, the next episode, she's like, oh, I don't know if I'm a boobs or a butt. It's like, well, all right, bro. All right, you did it. Yay, you put one in there for the queers. Hooray. Good job.
Okay. Oh, goodness, you can keep it wide.
Okay.
Because I definitely want to chat about it. But, so first off, I want to say...
No, you stay over there. He got fire for you, sir.
I want to say that I believe there were people who watched and enjoyed the anime who were casted, and there were people who never saw the anime, got casted, watched it, and were like, all right, let's do this thing. I think Jet is one of those people. I think, did he do the Jet thing? Sure. But it didn't fit. Like, it felt forced. I felt like a lot of his stuff that he did was forced.
I'd meet you halfway on that.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't entirely agree, but there were definitely scenes. But I almost add that I almost chalk it up to the writing for some of it.
Sure.
Because I feel like they wanted jet-isms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so while he may have referenced the character and like watched it, for as actors do, I think he kind of just would like default to certain things. But I think some of the other choices that he made in delivering and bringing forth Jet made sense, and I don't think I would see anybody else in the role.
Sure. Yeah. I guess I don't agree with his delivery and like the gruff voice, especially like I watched the after show where they like bring them all on and talk about it, and it's just like I was like, he really does not sound anything like that.
No.
So it was tiring for me. I thought it was
he's
very
still
much
Bushmaster to me.
Oh, did you have trouble with that?
I just for a second. Then afterwards, I was like, I'm fine.
I thought it was very much a caricature of Jet. And
really?
Yeah. I felt like it wasn't so like, and this is what I mean. So like, and also I will say that after I want to say the first episode, if not even the first trailer, I was like, this is not your father's Bebop. Like this is
don't go into it
like,
expecting the same thing because
it's not gonna be that. So what like Spike did, or John Cho, sorry. What John Cho did, I thought that made a bit more sense on how to play that character in real life. Faye Valentine, Danielle Pineda. At first, I did not agree with her, Faye.
She came in a little strong at first.
I felt she was very immature, and that is not the Faye I know.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying.
That ain't my Faye.
Like, she came in very, like, hot. Like,
Yeah.
hot-headed and gun-ready type vibe.
Which is very, like, very all over the place. Not spastic, but, like, vibrant, we'll say. Full of energy.
Look at that. Synonyms.
Yeah.
Synonyms.
But with what was going on in the actual show, like their rendition of the show, I was like, sure, if this is what we're doing, sure.
It was really buddy cop vibe.
Yes.
All of it. All the deliveries of everybody was buddy cop.
Vicious, I did not like it all.
Yeah, that was another very weak point. Very
was
Lord Farquaad Malfoy. Lord Farquaad Malfoy.
Like,
oh man,
to make it live action, and for them to direct. I don't know if it was direction. I don't know if it was a choice, but for that portrayal of Vicious, I did not like at all. It didn't make any sense.
So I'd love to talk about this because this is I think it's a change. This is very heavily in change of medium, because I think one point of Cowboy Bebop is like the anime. Like, you see Vicious in like episode 5, right? And you don't know what's going on with Spike. Then you don't see him again for a while, right? Like, you see the syndicates are like doing stuff, but like, because they basically made both Vicious and Julia characters,
right,
that we were like following, where in the anime they're almost like phantoms of Spike's past. Or like, you see how he pines for Julia and like everything, like, but who is this person, like who is she? And then she finally gets there at the end. So I think in the anime it's more of a bomb when those things happen, as opposed to like they developed her, they made her a person, not just an object of Spike's obsession. Yeah.
Sure.
Like, you can take this and be like, okay, Cowboy Bebop the anime is about Spike, where this adaptation is about this world and the people in it.
Sure. Vicious, though, he's a badass.
He had a bird.
He's very much like always cool, calm, and collected. He's down for whatever. He's not like maniacal, right? He's not like a he's not Mandark. And I felt more Mandark than like just a cool like wasn't it Slate and like Teen Titans?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's just about like Vicious in the anime is just about the business.
Hands.
No and questions. It's like
hands.
We just gonna handle this. This guy was very like it was almost like a cheesy Bond villain. And I was just like,
that's valid. That's valid.
This is disgusting. Like this doesn't make me want to watch this.
So I think it was once again change of medium, trying to make good TV. Monsters.
I think you can still make good TV and have a compelling like antagonist who is cool.
Nah, he was definitely a CW antagonist.
Yeah.
Fight me.
I wish I could. I can't. I think it's the old, monsters are made. They're not born. We got to understand where it's coming before you cut her head off.
But he was almost like a petulant child.
He was
very much so,
and
he was,
and it wasn't anything. It's not anything like he was made to be this way. Like they kind of say that from the jump, where he's like, there's something rotten within him.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that can be true, but he doesn't have to play
not like this.
Like not like
this.
Julia, and her ending, I felt was very much like Khaleesi in the final series, where her change happened a bit too fast for me from what we've seen.
It was.
Well, her change happened around episode 4. You start seeing the bleed into.
I don't think so.
Like. No, because she started acting outside of Vicious,
mm-hmm.
and choosing to do things that would drive the needle forward. However, I think the dramatic change happened later.
Yes, but that's what it's like for what we see in episode 4
mm-hmm.
to the point at the end.
All right.
It's like
I'll agree with you there because of the reason that the same happened with Khaleesi, right? Like the buildup was almost too slow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the turnaround was too fast.
Whoa, we just doing this now?
Did we get
right.
there?
And
now, to be fair, Julia was very concussed.
Sure.
Extremely concussed.
Sure. But I think that would have been a cooler thing if you're going to get a season 2. Like, you can start to flush that out and then like just have it continue flushing out in season 2. Right? Like, I think to do that kind of hard switch, it was a hard switch at the very last moment. I'm just like, I don't know if I buy that. Like,
concussion.
I can see the train of thought. I felt like they did it, and then they explained why they did it when they let her talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing you can really to explain this away, because I hate when like they give you enough stuff to explain it away, so people on the internet are like, well, actually. To explain it away, you can say that like she always had doubts because like, what if he's still alive and he's just not coming back from me? It's like, oh no, he's totally dead. And then like he actually was alive and actually just did not come back. So I don't know. Also, I default to concussion. I think most things can be explained with a concussion.
By a concussion? Really?
It can change your personality, Daniel.
All right.
And then I will say, and the same thing that I said with actually with Ed. I feel as though that's more of a the Jet thing for me. Where like the kid that they got, like they might have watched Cowboy Bebop. Might have.
They might just be an annoying kid. You can just find an annoying kid. ADHD is like prevalent,
but
we got a bunch of it.
I feel like
too much. Yeah.
I feel like the kid watched Cowboy Bebop and was like, "Oh, I'm going to do that." And it's like,
do you feel like it's too on the nose?
I think it's too on the nose and it doesn't translate well in this medium.
With the medium.
And so I was thinking what would have been dope is if you have like somebody like Donald Glover's character in The Martian, who's just so smart and just so like on their literally like thinking of their own stuff that they just seem weird to everybody else, but it's because they're like 10, 15 steps ahead of everybody.
Okay.
So it's like
like a Elon Musk type?
Elon Tusk.
Sure.
But yeah, go ahead. I think point of order though, point of contention. I know we gotta like we're definitely gonna have more thoughts on this later. Patreon. Ed was a really big point of contention for people because of how Ed presents in the anime, and it's like, okay, they're kind of like, very androgynous, and like, what are they going to do with this, know? So I think them closing the season with being like, here you go, you got it, we did it, y'all are okay, yeah, we did it, and then like that's enough to pull people in.
I'm not upset with the introduction of Ed. I'm upset with the portrayal.
Choices were made.
Those are a lot of things that I actually had an issue with. I thought the fight scenes could have been a bit sharper, a
little
bit tighter. Yeah,
they felt almost like choreo.
It felt like choreo.
Dang.
That's exactly what it was. It was like, 1, 2.
It was
like,
it was
5,
beats, and
6,
some of it
7,
was
8.
some of it wasn't backed up by music, so it felt empty. I feel like had they done it to music, it would have felt more like a dance.
Okay,
and that's why you feel the same way I feel. It's kind of just like there was a lot of and I was like,
but not that though.
Right.
If there would have been that, it would have felt different. It felt realer, and it felt like a court. Like I'm seeing you practice.
It was beats. It was definitely beats.
Yeah.
And he was like, I gotta hit here because
exactly.
if you hit me here,
I'm breaking my wrist.
Right. And John Cho, it almost felt like when watching him do the fight choreo, they were like, do not hurt this man.
He got hurt.
He
I
did,
forget how.
but they were like, "Do not hurt this
not
man
again
in any way."
Everybody gets one.
Right. Everybody gets one, but after that, you will be fired on site and removed from the set.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that's what we were watching in some of these choreos, because when they did Phase, I was like, "All right," but it was a lot of cuts, like quick cuts. Which is normal. And
even the fight between her when she first meets up with John Cho, I was like,
it was.
I was like, oh, it's all downhill from here.
Right, but it was largely due to the fact that almost had no quick cuts and was also multi-camera angled, and the pacing of those choreos just did not. We've watched enough, right?
We've been watching it.
I think that's the unfortunate thing. It's
we've
like
taken in enough media to know like the capabilities. And I think because of that, if each form of media doesn't come in meeting that, like you have to be creative in a way to mask it.
And I think, and I can get into the things that I liked here. I think that because it wasn't all bad. Right. I think there were things that they did really well. Like though the final scene, I think the final scene actually between him and Vicious was actually one of the best choreographed fights. One of the tightest until they get to the part where like they're in that iconic pose.
Yeah, the pose.
And then like you see them in the pose, and then they come closer, and you can tell that they were like cut and then came back and like actually
readjusted.
Yeah, like let me actually put it like here and there so like it can be like a thing.
Tighten up.
Right. Yeah. Outside of those things, the music was amazing.
Of course,
it was like art.
It was just. I was like, in the way that they changed up the intros.
Yeah. Every now and again.
Oh my goodness.
But you didn't know which one. Like sometimes. It was really
that
cool.
that was dope.
Do not skip any of the intros.
Don't you do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And then the production value of like the ships, the environment, like all that we're seeing, like
that's where the budget went.
When
they casted Vicious, I was like, I see half of his budget went to lighting. Because I appreciated the lighting. Like,
oh yeah, they did make great choices with light. Fellas, how do you feel? They made great choices with light. You're right, and color and choices. How do we feel about the camera angles of the day to day, like the weird artsy, like they were almost very.
There were
very
artsy decisions with some of them, and I think
I
some of them worked, and I think for the aesthetic they were going for the entire show, made sense.
Yeah, some
of them. There were others that I was just like. I wonder if there's like a director and a camera guy with his like legs kicking in the air while he's like doing this, and he's kind of like looking up. And I was like, "All right, cool, don't."
Nah, I enjoyed that aspect. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the fact that they did kind of tie it all closer in together. As like, okay, that's cool. Oh, there was this one shot where he's fighting what's this guy? The French guy's name, Peru.
Yeah, Pierre.
Pierre?
LeFou
Pierre.
Yeah.
Where he finds the costume and then he goes up to the glass,
And
and,
his
they did
face.
the shot. I was like,
That was
that's
really
creepy and great. Love that.
That was great.
awesome. Yeah, no, I thought, I think if you are a fan of the anime and you're about to go in to watch this, you have to know that it is not your father's Bebop. This is not your Bebop.
Would you advise them to give it grace? Is it worthy of the grace to watch?
I feel like you can give it grace.
Mm.
I agree with you that I will watch season 2 if they get one. This is not something that you have to. This is not a rewatch. Like I rewatched Cowboy Bebop the anime. I think like 2 weeks ago, preparing for this, and like Cowboy Bebop the anime, I will watch again later on.
It's good.
Like later on in life. This I can't say I will ever go back to, but I appreciate everything that they did for it. They did the best that they could. I will also give it a 2.5.
2.5. Okay. What about the controversial line?
Oh, we gotta say it. We gotta
Black
talk about
male.
it.
I mean,
I understand the only reason why I even mentioned it, one, is because we are black, and
It's true.
yeah, you don't have to say the line, but yeah, if you heard it, I was kind of like, and I hadn't seen the internet respond to it when I first heard it, because I was kind of like, I listened to it, and part of me, if anyone knows, right, I have kids, so sometimes I'm watching, but then other times I'm listening. That like snapped my head back to the screen. I was doing some parents, I was doing some fatherly duty, and all I heard was that line, and I was like, "What? What did she say?"
I will say that line. I was watching it, and I was like, she said it, and I was like, let me rewind.
Right.
Put the caption on.
If I'm bugging, tell me I'm bugging. Right.
It's like, I gotta put the caption on. Let me figure out what happened here.
Because Josh don't watch anything with captions.
Right. I was
unless
like,
it's sub.
I feel like I heard what I heard, but nah.
Had to see it. You had to see it, right? The quotation marks around black and male. I was like,
all right. But you know what? Unfortunately, and maybe this is an episode about the fetishization of
black men
and just black people in general, but it's like, I could see that actually being said. I could see that being said to me. I could see that being said to any one of us. And it's just like,
oh, it wouldn't be said to me. There'd be some adjectives thrown in between black and male.
That's
and
funny.
I understand.
But I think for me, the bigger,
I'm fine.
The bigger thing that I was like, wow, really? Was when they was like, I'm not gonna carry that weight. I was like,
or like young Spike was like, whatever happens, happens. Like, he said the thing.
Yeah.
He said it.
I was like, all right. I mean, if you must, like,
Right.
but yeah, no,
yeah.
and that character she's not even in the original.
No.
So
which was like even more so. Daryl Johnson was in the room and said,
Daryl Johnson Dolezal.
Daryl Dolezal Johnson was in the room and said, you know what would be a funny line? I've been workshopping this all over.
Right.
No one picked it up.
I bounced it off my wife.
Right. She said it was fine.
We should move on to
Hold on. There is the one thing. I guess it's one thing, and maybe I'm grasping at straws here. That's my preamble. Because it's been like a thing where people are like, oh, Jet's not black, he's blah, 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 blah. So it's like nice to be like, no, Jet's black. That's it.
At least Jet is black in the Netflix adaptation.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I think
name's
his
also Jet Black.
No,
his,
that wasn't enough for people. That wasn't enough.
Isn't his English voice actor
Yes.
was black?
Billingsley? Is that Billings?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
it wasn't enough. They had to confirm it. But yeah, that line, I would say don't get hung up on it. It happens.
yeah, it happens when you move past it.
It happens enough, right? In life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I wasn't
So-
going there, but okay.
Like, until we can break it in real life, it's going to keep coming up.
Also, real quick question before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
That the line "you're black" and a male was also delivered by a person presenting like a white woman, right?
Sure.
So would it have been different if Annie was the one to say it? I don't think I would have cared as much.
Who's Danny?
Annie's the person who owns the club, the cane. That's stabbed in the leg.
Shout out to SVU, by the way.
Yeah.
But
I knew her from somewhere.
If anyone's familiar with her body of work, she works hard on Broadway.
Oh,
Works hard.
I didn't know that.
And is
that explains because she, for the role that she got, she breathed life into it.
She did so well, and I never pronounced her name correctly, so I'm not going to butcher it here. But I love watching her work because she's just she could be a mortician, she can be Annie, she's great.
She's dope.
Stop putting the cap on it because I'm about to have some. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
but yeah, that's what we thought of Cowboy Bebop. Not your father's Bebop. Not your Bebop.
Not your Bebop.
It's there, and I'm not mad about it.
Which is when you think about the
reaction initially.
Well, not even that, but the list of Netflix adaptations.
It's become a meme. Actually, it's going to the point of becoming a meme.
If you can do it and people aren't mad at it, it's that's a huge win.
It's a win for us.
That's enough for the second season to get greenlit. Right. Actually.
Yeah. So.
And welcome to the final shot seat.
Final
Jayhawk has a chance to take it all home. Can he do it? I believe in it.
Anyway, final question.
Final question.
For all the marbles.
Like the man whose martial arts style Spike has borrowed, he claims that martial arts are all about being like this natural element: air, earth, water, fire.
Shout out to many things, but mainly lo-fi. I'm gonna say water.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully completed the shot seat.
Hey,
Somebody stop this kid, man. He's done it.
Take all three just because.
All right, I really hope you don't do that. And now back before y'all have to see this. Back to our schedule program.
I know we went long on that, but I would love to talk about King Richard.
King
Let's do
Richard.
it. I want to go first because I have the least amount to say.
Okay.
King Richard, I thought, here's the thing.
Whoa.
No.
That's his preamble.
Right. Here's the thing. You can't, I feel like it would be so rude, disrespectful to come in and be like, this is what I didn't like about King Richard. There's no reason for that. And it actually is a good movie, so you don't have to. But it's just this was a good family movie. I remember even going into it, I was like, this will be the first regular movie that we there's no superpowers,
no
there's
cowboys,
no assassins.
What you mean?
No,
Serena and Venus are super heroes.
True.
That's true. Sure.
We tagging.
But I felt like this was such just a life story that I was like, I can't not like this. There has to be so many things wrong with this movie to for me to be like, this is a little 2 point. You know what I mean? So I felt it was a really good movie. I will say it's to me it was King Richard, Venus Williams origin story, featuring Serena. It was just very and I when you pay attention to the movie and it's you know that it's his whole plan, it's okay, I get it, but at the same time, for this to be a 2.5 hour movie,
it was 2.5 hours.
I was could we have a fast forward to some stuff to get Serena more into the mix of seeing his plan for her. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he talks about it, but like we never really see it, so to speak. And like it would be such a great thing to see because of that one scene where, you know, everybody goes off to see like Venus go play in the tournament or whatever, and then like Serena hangs back and like she's like, actually,
We in here. We in here.
And
Let agents move out.
right, yeah. So like, wow. So I think it would have been great to see more of Serena's story in this movie. But you know, that just isn't what happened. But I thought it was great to see it felt like more of a family dynamics thing with King Richard being at the center of it, right? Like the engine of literally the engine of the thing that makes it go. All that being said, nothing really bad to say about it, except for it wasn't like my cup of tea. Like I know you guys are going to like talk about it. I did not get emotional at all. I was just like, oh, this is like a cool movie. So I mean, for what it's worth, I give it 4.0.
That's very
Easy.
high for you.
I think when you talk about quality, I think it's a good movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Very good movie.
yeah.
This is not his fault, I don't think. But whenever I see Will Smith in a movie, even if he has worked on like the accents and everything, it's like
It's Will Smith.
I still see Will Smith, and I don't see like with the House of Gucci, Jared Leto showing up.
that ain't him.
That's like who's what? But
Jared
like,
Leto is a chameleon
like-
in general, so
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
But like when Will Smith, like when he is acting in something, it's like, oh, that's Will Smith. And even when you try to like mask your Will Smith voice, I hear Will Smith, and I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I just know that that's what it is.
Do you feel that way? This is a tangent, but do you feel the same way about like
Kevin Hart.
no, because Kevin Hart is definitely Kevin Hart all the time, right? But like Denzel Washington. Have you ever watched? I would say there's only one movie probably in my entire life that I don't see Denzel Washington being Denzel Washington.
Training Day?
Nope.
Deja Vu.
Nope. Malcolm X.
Oh.
It'd be Malcolm X.
Ah.
Malcolm X is the only time that I've ever watched and was like, I think that's Malcolm X.
Okay.
But I know Denzel Washington is like one, giving 1,000%, and two,
Right.
giving the best performance that he possibly can.
Right.
And no one can match that. However, I see Denzel Washington.
So maybe
Morgan
it's...
Freeman, same.
Really?
There, you give me a Morgan Freeman role
And he hasn't been.
that he
That's
just disappears into.
the thing is like
Wanted. That's the least Morgan Freeman thing I can think of that has Morgan Freeman.
what wasn't he in Red?
He was also in Red, but he was very much Morgan Freeman in that.
Was he?
He was kind of Morgan Freeman in that.
But like,
But that once again, Morgan Freeman has also been old our entire life.
right.
That is true.
That's the thing. So I'm just, and that's why I say like it's not a bad thing. It's not a. I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing, but I know it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's just a statement to their greatness and to their body of work. We'll say.
I got comments.
But
I got comments.
but yeah, it was just like, oh, it's Will Smith and he's here and he has an accent now. I'm sure it's a good accent. Maybe, I don't know.
I think he got it.
So it's not my turn. I'll wait.
Okay.
No, I thought for not knowing the father of Venus and Serena Williams personally, I thought it was a good accent. I thought he did well. It's just I can see and hear Will Smith when he talks, and shows up on camera. But yes, it was a 4.0. Good movie. I think it's rude to be like this was a bad movie because I don't know. It just seems poor taste.
Seems like in poor taste.
But I also don't think it was a bad movie. I think it was an actual good movie.
Yes.
Thank you for saving that.
I would agree. I like this film. I did cry. You might ask why. Because I don't have children of my own, but my goddaughter is very, very close to me, very important to me. So whenever dads are talking to their daughters about anything, I'm just like, my baby. You know? So I enjoyed, it was like, I think in order to be successful at a sport, for like, especially when like you're coaching your children at a young age, there has to be a degree of like, not exactly psychopathy or like just like fanaticism enough that like people, I don't think the neighbor was wrong to call the people. But
mind your business.
Yeah, I think she was wrong.
no, his response was flawless though.
Nah, the mom's
The
response.
mom's response was that don't make me come over here again.
Yo,
If I have to come over here again.
yo, because the only thing is because you get the backstory when Will goes over there. He's like, yo, like
Richard,
yeah,
well, just for the sake
sure.
of the story.
When Richard goes over there and he's like, yo, ain't your daughter out here on the corner, da da da. And she's like, shut your mouth.
I'm hurt.
Right. And so then when
How could this have been avoided?
and so then when the wife comes over and is like, you know how hard it is with one daughter. I got five.
Don't make me
come back. I was like, I really hope you don't make her come back.
For your sake.
I was like, do we in the next scene? Do we see when she goes back over? Like, is that what happens?
I was
Is
like,
that the
oh,
Venus
no.
and Serena Williams story that we don't know about?
I was like, this is all bad for you.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
She put up like the Eternal dad, like
You didn't recognize her?
Who?
Hippolyta?
Oh snap! I didn't.
That's
You
what-
just said it. Wow. The eyes. It's the eyes.
it was one of those things where I was like, I know this woman.
Yes.
I know her. I'm not gonna look it up though. So I'm lazy
No, that's
sometimes.
fair. But
That's dope.
yeah,
She does good work.
She
She
does.
did. Oh, she was one of the best parts of that movie. Straight up. I think the delivery of all the characters was like very believable. You know, family. You get to see the dedication and the belief against all odds, which is it's beautiful, and it's great to see when it did work out. And I think a lot of this movie when it ends and goes, oh, well, that's good. It was just like because it worked out. Because if it didn't work out, he just would have been a lunatic. Right?
He would have been the villain in this story.
But it all did
That's
work
wild.
out. And it takes that level of belief. And one of my favorite things, I'm gonna pass it over to Dan, is when it came to like the money, or just like when he's like when Venus gets the $3 million Nike deal, and then the Punisher is like, oh yeah, take this, take
John
that.
Bernthal, but okay. Because that's how we describe movies to people.
I
was
made
like,
a
Aaron.
point in my head to be like, that is John Bernthal. That is
Right.
not the Punisher.
Like, you just out here. So the Punisher walked up to King Richard, right?
Right.
And then Venus was like, boom, right?
Punisher
And
walked up to Gemini Man and was like, yo.
And then Hippolyta was like, yo,
Right.
bro, like, we can't do this.
Welcome to the Blerd Bar.
And so then Paperboy came out and was
Can I?
Go ahead, bro.
You sure?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Let me know.
I'm good. I'm just,
It's just
I'm
funny.
like, it's funny. That's
I-
how people got to see Les Mis. It was like, they got the Gladiator and Wolverine in this, bro.
and Catwoman and Princess Diaries. You know, Princess Diaries. What was I about to say? Okay. I think it was very believable family dynamics and beautiful emotion when it came to like, I mean, it's always going to be a challenge to let your kids like grow and go off into the world because it like sucks. Yeah, I think I liked that they didn't just take whatever was given to them, you know. And I think I was watching and my roommate was behind me. My roommate Tom Delphi, CEO of Nerdino. But
All right. Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
Right?
We know Tom, but now y'all know Tom. That was the important part.
well, here's like we were watching. And he's like, man, this guy's kind of an asshole, and I was like, yeah, but like trauma, I guess. I don't know. I guess some of his responses were kind of off the wall. But I don't know. Oh, definitely four. Easy 4. This is a good movie. I did feel the pacing a little bit where I'm like, all right, y'all in Florida, it was with conflict here. Oh, also, she told him about himself. That scene, dog.
In the kitchen?
Like, yeah.
Because I feel like she told him about himself like at least twice.
She tried more. There was more than one.
Oh, yeah. Are we a team? It's like, yeah.
Next time I won't be quiet. It's like, oh, bro, you better run.
Right.
You are the reason that we run it by management. You like.
There's so much I relate to in this movie.
Real quick before you go, I believe. To your point about being able to persevere no matter what, I think it cannot be lost about the context of time that they were in.
Sheesh.
Like, sure. Because like, especially like, I mean, even when I got into tennis, it was still like, I mean, like, sure, black people dabble in it a little bit, but like, not really. Back then, what?
Nobody.
Like,
tennis?
Like, yeah, like, that was wild.
You just a goofy mark, dog.
Right. Like, it was even interesting for them to have the one dude at Rick's, John Bernthal's, the Punisher's training station. He looked like he could have been
something.
Something. It was, I'll say something. But
racially ambiguous.
Racially ambiguous, but he definitely wasn't white. And sure. Anywho, but yeah, to have like to be black in that time period and be getting into tennis, and you know, there was even that scene where I forget what company they were, but they came to King Richard and was like, yeah, I mean, you know, with your background, it's really great to know that you've
the microaggressions
been doing stuff. And he was like, what you, and for nothing else, it's like, for him to call that out and like just be as transparent as he was about that, I was like, man.
When money is like the one thing that you feel like is holding you back, and then you still like, nah, I'm good. I'll see you on the other side though.
Yeah,
that's how. Yeah.
That was one thing.
Yeah.
If nothing else to take from it is like that's what to aspire for. You know, like where it's just like, no, 3 million is like,
that's nice.
To be a kid, and I will say, I wonder how many kids would be able to do that like today.
I would say a decent amount. I think there's more information available.
There's more information, but she was what, 12 or 14?
Yeah. See, the informed decision came from her upbringing, right?
Yeah.
And so that tells a different story. I think most children today, when all you're told is to just have it, right? Like they asked very important questions that kids wouldn't ask. They were like, they haven't even seen me play. They don't know what I'm capable of. Why are they giving me a price tag? Because she understood the concept of ownership, and that once they have you for an X amount of money, they have you, which is a concept that they kept putting throughout the movie. Like, you know, nothing's free, right? Everything got hooks in it, and you know
that's a concept that King Richard threw into the movie.
But I mean, they were Richardisms, and you know. Let me know when it's my turn.
No, it's your turn. That was a great segue.
A great segue. So,
we should start a podcast.
Let me know how that goes. I want to go to bed so bad. So first, I would like to say shout out to my mom, right? Because I knew about Venus and Serena very early, like before the first Wimbledon win by Venus, because my mom loves tennis too much. I love this. If she watches this,
side note,
yes,
I was very surprised. I forget which birthday party it was or where we were, but I came over and like your whole family was talking about tennis and Wimbledon. I was like, wait, what?
when I tell you,
like, and this was back when I was like watching it, like in it to win it, and I was like,
the Grand Slams were I was homeschooled. We've talked about this before. Not going to dive into that. Can't unpack that. That's billable hours. So anyway, the only times that we were allowed to watch TV was like on the weekends. There was a certain window during my homeschool life where we weren't allowed to watch TV during the week. Only times we were able to watch TV during the week, Grand Slams. tennis tournaments.
That makes sense.
And
I
like
understand.
my mom was in a happy place, so she was like, "You can go watch TV somewhere else because you're not gonna ruin my tennis right now." Love her to death. It's my mama.
Bro, if you watch the French Open at the right time, you can be up
They-
till 3 a.m.
What you mean? Mom's is up to this day.
To this day.
She will watch on French time at all times.
Yeah.
I know, and I knew the names of the people they were referencing in the movie, like all of them. I was just like, why do I know these names? And this is information living up here where I could be reading comic books. Anyway, love you, Mom. But Richard Williams has always been a conversation piece in my home because my mom respected how much their talent and their greatness is attributed to him. And he called her Brandy, but that, if you notice, Brandy was the name she gave him the first time when he tried to talk to her and gave her a fake name. He's always called her by that name. But I believe it's like Orsine is her.
It's a cool name.
Yeah. So just the movie from beginning to end was what I expected Will Smith to do. Having seen Pursuit of Happiness,
I Am Legend.
yes, but not so much. Less so I Am Legend. But even the scene from Fresh Prince, right, where how come
We're not talking about that.
I'm just talking about
that was the one scene I was like, oof.
Yeah. But I think that scene is pivotal to recognizing his acting potential, the range, because before that it was comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It was very comedy, and he gave some dramatic lines prior to that, but that scene was like where you saw Will Smith raw, and knowing that he's capable of what he's doing now. I think it was like the 56th minute of the movie. It was like one of his monologues, and I just was like, okay, all right.
Who was he talking to?
It was Tundi.
Or
let me reference that. I think it was in reference to. He may have been talking to Venus and Serena. I just remember that moment. I wrote it down because I paused the movie for that just to make sure I marked it. There was other moments in the movie that I was just like, the kitchen scene.
Sheesh.
Shortly after the kitchen scene, this is a conversation he has with Venus,
and
he's looking her in her face. She's crying. Will's crying.
You're crying.
I'm crying.
I was like,
Tanjiro's crying.
Right. Like everybody was crying. And he said, "I may not do everything right, but I will do everything I can to protect you." And I said, "That's the linchpin, right? When you have kids, because there's a level of psychopathy with being a parent, because you're just like, I'm going to if you're a good parent, right? Like,
Caveat.
If you're a good parent, there's a level of psychopathy that kind of exists because you're like, I don't want any harm to come to you. That's unrealistic. That is an unrealistic thing. But however, if harm comes in your direction, I'm supposed to be that middleman. That's me. That's my role. That's my responsibility.
I will say,
Go ahead.
When he was finna to pull up on the bull,
he was about to risk it all, dog.
I was like, I get it.
Richie with the
get
blinky.
it.
Richie with the blinky.
And I would be right there in the trunk, like, yo, let's do it.
I'm like, what? You want me to grab a broken tennis racket? Say less.
Yo.
And I think being a girl dad, like it's one of those things where I'm just like,
one day,
I wish a nigga would. Like
one day, we need you guys to buy a lot of merchandise because we're going to be needing bail.
In fact, do it now.
So preemptively,
it's already here,
right?
But and to get back to the movie, right?
Sure.
This is an autobiography on most counts, right? Like I'm not sure what was like, movie magicked over, but there was a lot
random acts of gang violence,
right? But even then, like they talk about that if you've ever heard an interview from Venus and Serena, they talk about their life in Compton. Like, because of how much my mom was into them, like, my sisters played tennis, right? Like, I had a tennis racket at one point. Did I use it that much? No. This body was not brought to you by tennis. So, tennis is still very much a thing in my mom and for my mom. And so because of that, we're mom adjacent. So we we know tennis. I don't know the names now, but back then I knew everybody's name. All the Russian pronouncing names and German pronouncing, I knew them because they were conversational. So, but I liked how the importance was he had a plan. I think that's a very important part of being a parent. Because if you don't have one, I'm not saying be a psycho about it.
No, it's not even that.
He was a little stringent, but the plan is important. Because he wasn't just molding athletes, he was molding great people.
Sure.
The whole situation about Cinderella and the be humble. I'm wondering if Kendrick Lamar heard the story first and was just like, be humble. But it's important because your goal as a parent isn't just to make a great person world renowned. Like, it's just to make them better people in general, like well-rounded all around, that they're not making decisions based on money, that they're not making decisions based on their own confidence. Like you can have confidence, but should never get in the way of other people, right? Like, it's your confidence is your confidence. And so therefore you can project that energy, but not direct that energy.
Sure.
And I think just being a dad and then watching this, I was like, all right, cool. This is a lot. I still gotta work, I'm doing this. And I watched it on my lunch, and I'm just like, I had a full breakdown, and I thought about, like watching parents and then being a parent, and then you think about your parents, and then you're like, and I was just like, oh, hello. And I was like, I can't do that.
You've reached Blerd Bar Consulting.
And I told myself, I was like, what I won't do is
Dark Saber is out.
I told myself, I'm like, for the episode we're recording tonight, like, I can't cry. And I'm just like, still trying.
Can you be emotional, please?
No, I'm still fighting it now. I'm glad it's being undercut with comedy, because I'm like, I thought about it, and it was so much, because this man gave, like, when he told his story about his dad, and knowing that it's a truth, like, how does that not break you, right?
Right.
And to know that, like, there's nobody that's ever going to really be in your corner, and so you want to be different for the next generation.
I never knew my dad.
No, but you still want to be different, right?
Sure.
If
that's not.
We've reached the end of our episode.
No. You know what it was though? For me, it was like
that does not bode confidence.
You know what it was? I forget exactly what it was, but there was something that I was like, did he have a plan, or did he?
No, he actually had a plan in real life.
He really did have a plan, because sometimes it was almost like, does he have a plan, or is he Jack Sparrow? Are those one and the same thing? Like,
there was a legit plan.
That's legit. That's dope.
So you respect that, right? Like,
yeah.
However, I almost like empathize with the others, right? Like his son.
That we don't even see on camera,
that you don't see in the movie. But I think that was important. That it's important to humanize, like, this man, right? Like, he came up with a plan on these umpteenth tries.
I'm gonna say try number 7.
Right. Like, you weren't a good dad everywhere else, but that's the truth. That's a truth that they put in the film.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to recognize that, like, the humanity of who he is, right? Because once you put people in movies, they kind of they take on another status of
sure
perspective, and it's. I mean, he's the origin of two of the greatest athletes that ever existed.
Ever.
Mhm.
Period.
Of all time. Like,
Mhm.
Serena is the most winningest athlete.
Most winningest. That's a word.
Yes. Okay. You wrong, though, but it's okay.
There we go.
Winningness is a word.
Winningness?
Yes.
I don't know if it's a word, but I was just here for you.
Appreciate you. Okay. So.
They dope AF.
Right. Anyway.
What we doing here? I'm sorry.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if you've ever watched a movie or a documentary or a special on Serena Williams or Venus Williams, like, I feel like this should be a part of it. Like, if this is something that you should still watch, because if you are familiar with their story, this will only make you more familiar with their story. If you have no knowledge at all, which is almost near impossible if you care about any of these two particular athletes, watch it and take it with a grain of salt, because movie magic. But
I don't know. I think that's the thing. I feel like
I would
because
say
you know what it was?
most of it
Because
is-
Serena and Venus were executive producers
They
for
were, yeah.
this
Yes.
for this movie. So it's like
you would still have to do some level of dramatization,
Sure.
because
Okay.
real life is not that exciting.
I mean,
Their life might have been,
I'm just gonna say I wouldn't call this movie,
but
edge of your
I'm
seat.
saying dramatization, right? Like, I'm saying there's moments and points of drama
Sure.
that probably were boosted to 10 when they might have been like a 3. That's all
Sure.
I'm saying.
Sure.
But
Maybe. I enjoyed the tennis matches.
the tennis matches
They
were filmed
They were really cool.
very well.
Mhm.
Obviously in one, they were filmed in like 120 frames per second, like the way you would film at, action sequences. So, like, wonderful. And the chick beautiful young lady who played Venus was
She did her thing.
Give her roses now.
She did her thing.
She did.
Sanaya Sidney is her name.
Okay.
She almost looked more like Venus at that age, to the point where I was like, "Oh, girl, that's Venus." They went back in time and got
They
Venus.
just snatched her.
Right.
I was like, hey.
They did a very good job of like the hairstyles and the importance of what they did, because when they wore the beads, it was very much like an ancestral connection thing,
Yeah.
and all that. So
I will say the conversation between her, to get her to Oakland, the Oakland tournament.
mhm.
The conversation between her and her dad.
That's
at
the
that
scene.
point.
Yeah, that scene where he was talking about protecting her. and all
Yeah.
that. That's
I
the
was
one
like-
that's the got me. That's the got me.
Okay,
That
that makes sense.
That was a loud open sob by myself in here. You're laughing, but I'm dead serious when I was like,
So I felt the sob, but my roommate was there.
"No,
So
that's
I
real."
just like, it was like 4 tears,
Yeah.
but at the same time.
No. I put every device that captures audio on mute and let myself go. I'm dead serious. But yeah,
Oh, goodness.
I'm gonna give this a 4.5. I think in context, right? Like you take it with a grain of salt, but I feel
Mhm.
like it's a good movie, man. It's
Good
Yeah.
movie, man.
And to your point, and I think we can wrap up. You talked about Will Smith being Will Smith. Yes, but I've also heard Richard Williams speak. Not far off. And if you watch the end credits,
The end credit, the end credits.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were really cool.
the he matches it enough, but I feel like you said, I think the only role that I would say Will Smith almost disappeared was Ali.
That's the one thing I haven't seen, actually.
Ali.
Well, that and West, Wild
And it was-
Wild West.
Yeah. You probably also have you seen After Earth?
I think I started to watch it, and
So
I was
you
like,
didn't
nope.
see it, man. Gemini Man.
I started to watch it, and I was like, nope.
Have you
Don't.
seen Hancock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. I said a good one out loud, didn't I?
You did.
I ain't mean that. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
It's recorded.
You wanna-
Shout outs to Willie from Philly, man. Yeah,
That's
But-
real. That's the bottom line.
that's the bottom line. That's honestly the reason why we were like, this goes on the list. Because I would have watched the movie, but I don't think I wouldn't have propose this as something we would have reviewed.
I would not have watched this movie if it was not for this show.
That's fine.
But you love tennis.
I like tennis, but because I know it's a biopic, I know that
It's-
whatever antagonist is there, if I know the person and I know, not personally, Venus and Serena, like I'm like, they're fine.
Right.
So,
But it's about the journey.
They turned out fine.
whatever they had to, whatever hill they had to climb, whatever mountain they had to like
Right.
traverse, it worked out.
Serena won 23 Grand Slams. There's probably more antagonists in that story.
Right.
Than this.
Like, oh my goodness, her what was that? The US Open? And
Right.
Of was it 2018 or 2019?
Right.
Like
All,
all of
the
that?
shaming.
oh
And
my
like,
goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That's the movie I want to see.
I don't think I
That's
wanna
the
see that movie.
documentary I want to see actually.
I don't want to see that because I'm gonna be angry. That
That's
just made
rough.
me angry at white people again.
That's rough.
I don't want to do that.
Ooh.
Like this movie made me upset with white people, but not as much.
That's that way. Yeah.
But yeah. Will Smith, he has a very diverse catalog. Some ups, some downs, some in between.
He does what
But
he can.
I think
He's working.
he should be recognized at least by being nominated for this.
Hmm.
That's an argument I would make. Is it a hill I would die on? You can push me off that hill.
I'll just roll down.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
You know, Big Dan doesn't fall; he rolls. That's how it works.
What would that be in the what would that category be? Right? I guess that's my question. Because like to say like he should be nominated, I need to know the category.
I would
think
I would
about
say this is a hat. This is throwing a hat in the ring for best actor. Because I feel like he acted very well. And given the real life character he's portraying, he did a very good job. The issue is, I don't know how the Academy, does things.
Look, we ain't there yet.
They picked Halle Berry for a very different role. And it is what it is. I don't have opinions on that because that's not this episode.
Sure.
But we've reached the end of the episode.
Yes.
Thank you for putting up with me.
Thank you for putting up with me.
Josh is fine. So,
Do what I can.
don't forget, you can always spread the word of the Blerd Bar.
Oh, bars.
Whoa.
Hey.
Get out of here, Riddler.
Right? Links are always in the bios and descriptions. I think I want to stop saying like, share, and subscribe because
It's pretty cliche, right? I think
No,
you should
yeah.
comment, then share, and like if you want to. Mix
See,
it up.
That's more of the same thing with
No,
extra
no,
steps.
no.
So we're not doing that. But yeah,
But we do have the blerdbar.threadless.com.
we do. And them hoodies, man.
Also-
Oh yeah. Oh, and make a great gift for the holidays.
Also a Patreon.
That's true. Our colors, our themes are Christmas themed.
Hey.
They're
Coincidentally.
coincidentally because it's Pan African. But Dr. Umar doesn't know, so it's fine. So,
Good night, everybody.
y'all have a blessed night.
But why?